backdrop for a few.
YSL case, gang case, 28 defendants, most multimillionaires.
But when it comes to handling crowds, the indictment of a former U.S. president could bring.
This is probably one of the most high-profile cases that Georgia may see, and what our opportunities are to get it right.
So, look, all I want to do is this.
This January 2021 phone call Trump made to Georgia's Secretary of State is a key piece of evidence in the Georgia probe, which has taken on many forms over the past 2 years. In the classified documents case, the former president was met with a sea of supporters and some counter-protesters Tuesday at his arraignment in Miami. Sheriff Labatt says 2 of his commanders were in the crowd as well.
From that perspective, they were able to look through a different lens and see how we can either engage at a higher level or do some things differently.
Crowds in Miami were smaller than expected, and authorities reported few problems. In Manhattan, metal barricades separated Trump supporters from anti-Trump protesters. Police there stepped in to break up a few small confrontations. As for the timing of potential charges in the Atlanta probe, Fulton DA Fonnie Willis strongly suggested any indictments would come in August.
And ultimately, the DA was very specific in her letter, and so we will acquiesce and make sure that we are prepared.
In a letter to the sheriff's office, Willis advised law enforcement to prepare for heightened security and said the announcement of decisions may provoke a significant public reaction. But it's not just protesters Sheriff Labatt is concerned about, noting the media frenzy in both Manhattan and Miami.
In many instances, there were more media in New York than there were protesters. And conversely in Miami, how quickly the media showed up after the announcement. And for this is about preparation and the opportunity to read tomorrow's newspaper today and really be as prepared as we can be.
In the United States, it's illegal to discriminate against someone's national origin, race, color, religion, disability, sex, or familial status. What's not included on that list are physical attributes.
A lot of our advocacy work is focused on raising the national conversation about the need for legislation.
Only 6 other cities have similar discrimination laws to what New York City just passed. Binghamton, New York, Madison, Wisconsin, Urbana, Illinois, Washington, D.C., San Francisco, and Santa Cruz, California. As for state laws, Michigan is the only place to ban it statewide. However, states like New Jersey and Massachusetts have introduced similar legislation.
There are already a few states that have pending bills, and we know that there are at least a couple more coming in the next year.
New York attorney Peter Sverd works on human rights cases. He says the goals of laws like these are not to inundate court systems, but rather inspire change from companies, organizations, and city entities who fall within city limits.
The chilling effect of the law itself will
Some heart problems can come on suddenly, but those with a slower onset can actually be more difficult to notice. And that's a big problem because as more time goes on, more lasting damage can be done to the heart. And that's true of heart valve problems. I visited Henry Ford Health, where a new investigational heart valve implant is paving the way to a better life for a Michigan woman and pushing the limits of cardiac care.
You have a heart murmur, and I want you to go to the ER right now.
Those words from an urgent care doctor were a shock for 62-year-old Janice Couch, who says she felt fine.
And she goes, "We have an ambulance here."
Unbeknownst to Janice, she had 2 failing heart valves, the symptoms masked by liver problems she may have inherited from her mother and a failing hip.
It was my heart not getting all the proper, oxygen and whatnot, and that was making me weak and everything, and now I just have all my energy back.
Thanks to a new investigational heart valve being tested at Henry Ford Health, Janice needed valves that would have required an open heart surgery, but her other health issues were an obstacle.
Her liver and other problems would have put her at grave risk of a complication,
if not death. She couldn't receive traditional open heart surgery, and current minimally invasive valve replacements don't work on Janice's type of heart valve problem. Until now.
Janice was our first ever patient treated with this technology at Henry Ford Hospital, and frankly, one of the first in the country. She got the new kid on the block.
That new kid is the GeniValve transaortic valve replacement. It's inserted into the femoral artery and guided to the heart where it's open and set in place.
This brand new technology is engineered slightly differently.
The challenge, the tissue around Janice's aortic valve was soft, making securing the artificial valve a problem. The groundbreaking solution, these retention elements securing the implant.
There would be the potential for this valve to just slip right into the heart, and that would be a catastrophe.
Janice had the procedure May 11th and says while recovery time was minimal, the benefits have been huge. She blames some of her weakness on her arthritic hip, and it turns out the faulty valve was at the heart of it all.
I just had all this energy, and I was like, I didn't realize it was my heart.
Now, Janice can have hip surgery this summer, regain her independence, and be active with her grandsons, who are always close to her heart.
I want to go out and take them for walks and go push them in the park on the swing, and I want to get down on the floor and play with them.
Now, Janice will likely need a liver transplant, but that's actually an option now thanks to this new valve implant. The device is still an investigational tool, and it's not widely available. Still, Dr. Frizzoli says they do have 3 other candidates in line for this treatment, and they're being presented at a national screening committee this week. He believes that this valve, or valve like it, will become FDA approved and commercially available. He says it's not a matter of if, but a matter of when. In Detroit, Keenan Smith, Scripps News.
It's only June, but retailers already anticipate a discount-heavy holiday shopping season. In a new survey of retailers, 71% are concerned consumers will cut back holiday spending. 67% expect consumers to look for discounts, and 43% are ordering less product than last year. Some Mercedes-Benz owners now have access to the AI tool ChatGPT in their cars. Mercedes and Microsoft say the system can respond to requests for directions or place a phone call. It can also interact with other applications to make restaurant reservations or buy movie tickets. Last-minute Father's Day gifts could cost more than you'd like to spend. Of the 10 most popular Father's Day gifts in 2020, 6 of those items are now more expensive, according to the e-commerce accelerator Pattern. The most searched items for dads on Amazon last year were massage guns, charcoal grills, gaming chairs, golf accessories, men's wristwatches, and tool sets.
For tonight, temperatures dropping down to 75 degrees. Scattered storms possible. Winds out of the west at 10. Then tomorrow, once again, we should start the day with some sunshine. Then late day storms, 92 degrees, a 60% chance of rain. If you're looking to take the boat out, should be fine in the morning. Winds out of the south-southwest, 10 to 15, occasionally up to 20 knots. But the seas only 1 to 2 feet. And if you stay in the intercoastal, you'll be just fine. Inland waters, a light chop. High tide at 9:27 in the morning. Low tide at 3:30 in the afternoon. All right, your 7-day forecast. If you like the rain, well, you're going to enjoy this week because we have high-end rain chances each and every day. I don't like to have such a gloomy 7-day, but I think we are going to see some storms every afternoon, but we will see some sunshine each and every day too, and temperatures near average, staying in the low 90s.
Air travel can be as unpredictable as the weather, and that's why more and more travelers these days are using air tags to track down and locate missing luggage.
So many suitcases, so many chances for yours to get lost.
I even put it in my carry-on bag because you never know when the airline's going to make you gate check your bag.
Summer Hall with the Point Sky says Apple AirTags or similar devices are well worth the $25 to $30 cost to help you locate a purse or piece of luggage. Joe Williams says he never travels without a tracker these days.
This trip we checked a bag and it had to make a connection, so you want to know exactly where it's at.
He and his wife use a tile where they can see their bag's location right on their phones.
Like knowing where it is.
With any tracker, Summer says don't expect a 100% success rate.
What I've found is that sort of in the bowels of the airport, it's not fabulous at where exactly it is, in part because it relies on cell phones around it to sort of give you its location.
There are also ongoing safety concerns. Apple and Google.
Even if you're not a Taylor Swift fan, there's a good chance you've noticed when she's stopped in or near your city on her current tour, whether it's more traffic or people posting about it on social media. All the hype leading up to Taylor's tour also made headlines. Ticketmaster crashed and people paid hundreds, even thousands of dollars to see the show. With all the excitement leading up to it, some fans are now reporting there's parts of the concert they just don't remember.
Anytime you're so caught up in the moment and everything that's going on around you, you're putting that brain on overdrive.
Brain health experts say this kind of overstimulation can actually happen during big life events too, like getting married. But the good news is those memories usually aren't lost forever.
When you're at your wedding and you don't remember, then you look at the pictures and you're like, oh, I remember that. And, you know, they say it's the same thing if you're at a concert and you don't remember the music. Play it again, and that'll bring it back.
If you have an event coming up that there's a lot of excitement around, she says it can also help going into it with a certain mindset.
Use your power of observation. That's the best skill I have. And if you think, wow, there's a lot going on that stage, I'm just going to focus on Taylor. And I am just going to keep my eyes on her, or I'm going to close my eyes and just listen to the music. So put your intent and your focus on what you want to get out of it.
If you recognize in the moment that you're starting to feel overstimulated, she says focusing on taking deep breaths can help ground you.
WPTV News Brief is sponsored by Lytle Ryder Smith, Ivy and Fronrath.
Good evening, I'm John Shainman. Meteorologist Kate Wenzel's forecast is just ahead. First, a look at your WPTV headlines. A Riviera Beach officer driving a police cruiser was seriously injured in a crash in which the driver and passenger in the other vehicle died. Officer Carl Johnson was the driver of a 2022 Dodge Charger in the incident at 13th Street and Australian Avenue north of Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. The unnamed driver and passenger of the Hyundai, the other vehicle involved, were pronounced dead at the crash scene. Johnson was taken to a local hospital for treatment of serious injuries. The incident is under investigation. Heads up for drivers in Martin County. Brightline says it will be doing high-speed testing beginning Wednesday. Starting at 6 in the morning, they'll be testing their train service to Orlando. The trains can reach speeds up to 110 miles an hour. Traffic could be impacted for a while at certain railroad crossings as Brightline continues that testing. And adding to that, there's construction still at the Confusion Corner area in Stewart. So again, just be aware on these train areas, the trains on Wednesday, high-speed testing in Martin County.
And weather-wise for tonight, still tracking some scattered storms. Activity will start to diminish as we head towards the late evening hours. Overnight low of 75 degrees with winds out of the west at 10. Then tomorrow, once again, we'll start the day with some sunshine. Late day storms, 60% chance of seeing those storms. So most of us will see some rain. Winds out of the southwest at 10. For the boaters, seas running 1 to 2 feet. Inland waters, a light chop. And here is your 7-day forecast. Still hot and humid to start the work week. In fact, Monday, the heat index will be in the triple digits. Then on Tuesday, another hot one. 60% chance of storms for Wednesday, which is when summer begins. And we're keeping rain chances high all the way through next weekend with highs in low 90s and lows in the mid to upper 70s.
As residents of the Starlight RV Park reflect back on this experience, they tell me it was terrifying. They said right in between the Winn-Dixie and the Home Depot that were damaged, what they heard was a freight train heading right towards them. You can see all the debris strewn across the RV park, the wind flattening this couple's recently purchased canopy and collapsing the roof of the Winn-Dixie just next door. On the other side of the complex, this Home Depot was damaged and crews are working to fix up this flea market where wind ripped off the roof. Perhaps most scary, though, was what happened to Debbie Smalls. She says she drove right through this funnel, debris slamming into the side of her car.
It just smacked it, and so hard, I almost died. And when I looked to my left, I guess it had already flown over my car. I seen this building, not building, but the shed that's out behind the flea market rolling towards me into the road. And I was like, oh my God. And I just hit my gas and tried to get away from it.
Thankfully, Debbie was not hurt, but officials say this winter home behind the Winn-Dixie was damaged. The owners, though, weren't home at the time. Public Safety Director for the county, Earl Wooten, says there were no injuries reported, something he and residents here tell me is a miracle. Reporting in Okeechobee County, I'm Kate Hussey, WPTV News Channel 5.
A loaded firearm. And according to Fort Pierce police, a man who got it into the hospital then used it to try to kill himself. Police in the hospital are not saying how he ended up at the HCA Florida Lawnwood Hospital or if he survived. It's the latest shooting inside a medical center in our area since February 2019. Double amputee Larry Ray Bond smuggled a handgun under his wheelchair cushion into the Veterans Administration Hospital in Riviera Beach. He fired off shots, wounding a doctor and 2 others. Bond later pleaded guilty. He's now serving a 25-year term in the federal prison. Healthcare workers, according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, account for almost 80% of American workplace violence injuries. Here at the HCA Florida Longwood Thursday, no one is saying if the man actually threatened staffers before shooting himself. Fort Pierce's police incident report has not been released. When questioned by Contact 5 about the incident, the hospital by email wrote, HCA Florida Lawnwood Hospital has several security systems and protocols in place. As you might imagine, not publicly discussing the details of our security measures is part of our overall protection strategy. The most important question remains unanswered. How did a man get a loaded gun into a hospital? In Fort Pierce, I'm Contact 5 investigator Dave Bowman, WPTV News Channel 5.
Prompt access to hormone therapy can be a key tool in improving the mental health of transgender people. Scientists at the University of Melbourne recently finished a study that found reducing the waiting period for gender-affirming testosterone therapy also lowered psychological distress, called gender dysphoria, among transgender adults. The researchers also found a clinically significant decrease in depression. That included a more than 50% reduction in suicidal tendencies among study participants who didn't have to wait to start hormone therapy. The findings were presented at the Endocrine Society Conference Sunday. The study is undergoing peer review and has not yet been published.